right, so my article is titled Genetics of Age at Onset and Major Depression. So the researchers in this study are looking to determine if and how genetics plays a role in age of onset and major depression. Previous research has determined that early age of onset is generally related to a more severe case of depression. And while this is known and determined, it is not known how age of onset is determined. So the researchers are trying to see if genetics plays any role at when you develop depression. And so the sample for this study was the UKB cohort, which is around 500,000 individuals across the United Kingdom. And this includes their phenotype and genotype data, and it also includes digital questionnaire and nurse interviews given at baseline when they came in for treatment. And then so they also got a international diagnostic interview short form, which is used to analyze lifetime depressive symptoms. And so the initial interview and that second long name interview were the two ways that they define major depression. And because they have different phenotypic differences in their interviews, those two interviews, they were analyzed separately and then combined later. And so this is how they got their information, and then they analyzed the information in a few ways. First was phenotype transformation. Because age at onset is influenced by different interactions between sex and age, they were limited by analyzing the regression residuals. They also analyzed SNP-based heritability, which is basically common genetic variance, and they analyzed this to see how age at onset is affected by different genetic variants. Then a genome-wide association study was done analyzing age at onset of symptoms and then age at onset of diagnosis. And then this is where the meta-analysis comes in to combine the results from those two interviews, the first initial interview when they came in, and then the super long name one that they got later on. And then polygenic risk scores were calculated, and it was just to see if there are genetic predispositions on age at onset for major depression at all. And so the results from all this basically just said that age at onset of major depression is heritable, but they could not determine one specific gene that was responsible for age at onset. Additionally, they found that age at onset for major depression was also related to high risk for other psychiatric disorders such as autism, schizophrenia, anorexia, and bipolar disorder. So the earlier you are diagnosed with depression, the more likely you are to develop those disorders as well.